stations, first helos now.
Solid work. Move to the next target.
Soldier reinforcements heading your way.
Captain, still not picking up any radiation. Johnny, Garrick, anything? Negative.
Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for the road to my 830th Platinum Trophy. You guys already saw it unlocked. Today's game was the PS4 version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 from 2023. So, this game was, well, you probably know my feelings about it if you watched my streams of the PS5 version of the game a little while back. It's not, the hardest Call of Duty game out there by any means. It's not an overly challenging Platinum, but it is a very time-consuming, annoying, and boring Call of Duty Platinum. So to get the Platinum Trophy, you have several trophies that are related to the Zombies mode. Technically, this level 55 trophy can be done in both Zombies and multiplayer. But actually, this trophy auto-popped because I was already well beyond level 55 on the PS5 version when I first loaded up the PS4 version. Because I did the PS5 version first, which of course doesn't have a Platinum Trophy, but this one auto-popped, which was kind of nice. Exfil once in the Zombies mode is unmissable. 500 kills with an insured weapon is basically unmissable, with this one actually auto-pops if you get 1 kill with an insured weapon after finishing it on the other version of the game. 9 perks active at the same time. You can do this one either by trying to purchase all of the perks, or the better option is to bring some perk cans in with you, so you only have to purchase 1 or 2 perks. 100 zombies with a vehicle in a single deployment is actually quite easy. Just focus on that for an entire deployment. Reclaiming gear from a tombstone is pretty simple. Just go down and then in the next match go find the tombstone and pick it back up and you should get your gear back and get the trophy. Revive a player from another squad. This one will most likely come naturally at some point, but if it doesn't, I'm sure you could probably boost it if you just had you and your partner just abandon your squad and then you just go and revive each other or something if you really had to. Petting the Hellhound is easy enough. It just requires a little bit of luck as to whether or not the button prompt chooses to work and whether or not you're able to get both a chunk of flesh and a Hellhound doghouse in the same game close together. 20 contracts is basically unmissable while going for some of the other trophies. You're going to be finishing well over 20 just to get the 50,000 kills later on the list. Then you have to complete 5 contracts in the high threat zone in a single game. Normally this would probably be the hardest trophy in the game, but it can actually be cheesed by having a player go into the red zone, which is the high threat zone, and it doesn't matter if they live or die as long as they're in the red zone. The other player in their squad can go and complete 5 contracts in the low threat zone, and it will unlock the trophy for the person still in high threat. So just trade off between you and your partner, and you are good to go. So actually not too bad. Completing Act 3 can be automatically unlocked by defeating Orcus in a group. Completing all of the missions within all the acts would take absolutely forever because there's a lot of kind of annoying and ridiculous things you have to do it. 50,000 total kills is a lot, obviously. 50,000 is a massive, massive grind, and apparently Black Ops 6 is going to be even worse with like 66,666. It's not a difficult trophy, it just takes an extremely long amount of time to do your first time through because the fastest farming methods are either to use the Outlast contract, which isn't really super efficient anyway, but you can get like maybe 1,500 to 2,500 kills per game with that contract. Otherwise, your best option is to try to get all the way to the end of Act 1 in the story and use deadbolt turrets during the final defensive portion. That's your other option, but honestly, neither one is particularly good, and they're both going to take absolutely forever to do. Expect to spend a good, 30 hours alone on this trophy. Defeating a Warlord is not particularly hard, especially if you're in a group. I was able to do it with randoms on both versions of the game, but it's much easier in a group with mics and everything else. But I was able to knock it out on both versions of the game with various random players. On the PS4 version, it was actually hilarious because I ended up getting into a group with someone who was trying to take down the Warlord. He dropped me a ray gun, and then we both went down, and then I got revived when the Warlord was close to death. And then I, as I was bleeding out the next time when I was about to die, I landed the killing blow on him right before I died, so I didn't get the rewards from him, but I did get the trophy, so that was okay. And then finally, you have to kill Orcus in a 6-player squad in Modern Warfare Zombies, because for this one, you first have to be able to get 2 squads of 3 players into the same lobby together, which is completely random and there's no guarantee it will ever happen. And then once you all get into the same match, you then have to go in and kill Orcus, which isn't particularly hard compared to a lot of the other bosses within this franchise. But the game was absolutely hell-bent on making sure that I was not going to be able to get this trophy, because the entire time we went to that second area, the game was just lagging like crazy, like it was trying to find any excuse to kick me and ruin my trophy. But by some absolute miracle, I was able to get it and the game never crashed on me, so I was able to knock out the trophies and be done with it forever. Never have to play Modern Warfare Zombies again, thank God. Then we get to the campaign trophies. The campaign trophies in this game are pretty straightforward overall. Veteran in this game is easier than Modern Warfare 2 from 2022, and the campaign is also very, very short. It's only 15 missions. It can be done in like 3.5 hours if you're playing on Recruit. So with these open combat missions, you have to use all of the armaments, which are kill streaks. There are 12 total, which will also get you this bronze trophy down here. Customizing your loadout is now an unmissable story-related trophy that you'll get just by playing all the open combat missions for the first time. Collecting all items, there's well over 100 total between all of the missions. You're probably going to have to look at a guide for some of them because quite a few of these items are pretty well hidden. There's a good picture guide on PSN Profiles, and there's also video guides out there for this. Then with this one, you have to drive a vehicle with a sentry gun. I thought you had to do it by hacking the sentry gun and then driving the vehicle around, but you can actually do it by placing a sentry gun of your own on the back of a vehicle and then driving that around, which is actually much easier. Spotter scope to tag 60 enemies. Just make sure you work on this throughout the open combat missions and you're good to go. If you need to farm it, you can farm it very easily in Gora Dam in 2 or 3 lives. The plate carrier upgrades, there are 2 per mission for a total of 12. They seem to be in slightly different positions in certain missions for certain players, which is really, really weird, but if you just follow a video guide, you'll be able to find most of them. And then there are going to be probably comments telling you where the other ones are if you can't find them that way. The shock stick on an enemy turret or an enemy sentry gun, this is very easily done on... You can do this on like the second open combat mission or on the crash side open mission. Those are both good places for it. This is the most annoying trophy in the campaign because destroying an enemy helicopter with a mortar strike is extremely random and ridiculous, and it still took me over an hour to get on this particular version of the game, because the game is just very, very finicky about whether or not the mortars actually hit the target, and if the helicopter decides to stay somewhat in place, because it usually does not choose to do so. This one was like the last trophy I got, I think, before getting the Platinum Trophy. Yeah, I think it was the last one. This one's very easy, though. Just throw a flammable canister at an enemy and then shoot it when it's on the ground and you're good to go. This one you can just do on Gora Dam, just jump off the dam and parachute away and you'll end up getting it as long as you just fly as far as you can. This is a very easy trophy you can get on the second open combat mission, Reactor. Just take the explosive crossbow and just keep shooting bolts out at the enemies below you. Complete the campaign on Veteran. Again, this campaign is not particularly hard on Veteran, but you do have to be careful because you need to make sure you play through the entire campaign on Veteran before going back to do anything on Recruit to clean up. Because if you go back and do things on Recruit, there is a chance that this trophy will glitch on you and will not unlock. And the only way to fix that is to go back and replay certain missions on Veteran, but you won't know exactly which ones they are. So that's just a fantastic bug with this already POS type of game. Now we have some mission-specific trophies. So Operation 627 is the first mission in the game. Just kill 12 enemies while descending. This one's fairly easy, just as long as your squad mates don't do it for you. This one's pretty easy. It's in the second mission of the game. Just jump off the crane and onto the giant building in Precious Cargo, which is, again, the second mission. This one I actually did by accident. Basically, what you have to do is, in the third mission of the game, just use different kill streaks or armaments to destroy each of the 3 helicopters. There's lots of different options available, so it's not too bad. This one is pretty challenging to do on Veteran, just because the enemies don't always die in one headshot like they probably should on Veteran, so I definitely recommend going for this one on Recruit. There is a little bit of room for error, because there's about 7 or 8 different pairs that you can do this with instead of just 5. but you do have to get a little bit lucky to have them not sound the alarm, and it will require a bit of luck to make sure these shots actually kill their targets. This one is actually pretty easy. It is basically just follow a very, very specific path, and it'll lead you into the room where the major ends up going. As long as you just deal with everything correctly, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. It just might take a couple of tries even while following a guide. This one's very easy. It's the 8th mission of the game. Just shoot the gun while it's being thrown through the air when you deal with the medics, the fake medics, like midway through the mission. This is in the 9th mission of the game. Just destroy the 6 cars in the garage near the nice house, the mansion, whatever you want to call it. This one you can't do on your first playthrough. You're going to first need to make sure you have the Ascension gun, or Ascender as it's called. Once you have that, you can easily get up in 45 seconds without really a whole lot of trouble. You can do it in like 35 seconds or something. This one is in the 11th mission of the game, and it has to be the very first of the camouflage snipers that you come across. It can't be any of the later ones. This is the final open combat mission of the game, the 12th mission total. Just parachute off the dam onto the back of the truck and defuse the bomb while the truck is moving. It's best done on recruit. And then finally, during the AC-130 mission, which is the 13th mission of the game, all you have to do is just take out a single enemy with the missile, which is the replacement for the 105mm cannon. So just wait until there's an enemy alone and then just shoot them with the missile, and you should easily knock this one out. So, like I said, it's overall not an overly difficult Platinum Trophy. It's like a 5, maybe a 6 out of 10, but I would say it's more like a 5 out of 10. It's just very, very time-consuming, because that 50,000 kills on your first run of this game is going to take like 30 hours on its own, plus probably another 20 to possibly 30 hours to do everything else. So you're looking at a solid like 5 out of 10, but probably 50 to 60 hour platinum your first time through. Your second version of the game you can do in about half that time, in about 20 to 30 hours, just because that Slaughterhouse Trophy auto pops. Alright, so with that, level 876, 64%, 28,846 total trophies, 830 platinums, 5,551 golds, 7,721 silvers, 14,744 bronzes. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you'll leave a like and subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. That is most of the Call of Duty games done at the time that this is being recorded, which is in early August of 2024. Of course, there's eventually going to be more, but for now, there's only like 6 left that I have to do, of which I'm going to do about half of them. So yeah, see you guys back here real soon for more trophy content.